When I presented the video that took a look inside this publication from SPI from 1981, which is 3 games designed to introduce you to adventure gaming, I got to this fantasy role-playing one, The Tower of Azann, A Magical Quest, and I sort of said out loud as I was thumbing through it, well, maybe I'll do that on video, and I wasn't really sure about that because it's a paragraph-based game, and I don't know how interesting that would be or whatever, and a couple of people commented that they wanted to see that, and so I'm going to give it a whirl. I will tell you, whoops, here are the paragraphs. Obviously, there's spoilers in this. I said that in the comments below, so you should definitely turn away if you think you're going to be locating this and playing it. I will tell you that I can't do it totally unedited because it's just going to end up to be too long, I'm sure. I mean, I have no idea how long this plays, but in terms of thinking about it, I haven't looked through it at all. This is really the next time I'm opening it up since I did that little flip through. So I'm going to read the rules. We'll just set out and we'll start to do it. As I said, while I can't promise no edits, I can promise that the edits will be just to sort of move things along. I'm not going to go back or retrace my steps. You're going to hear every thought and decision that I make on video, and then if I feel it's getting too long, I'll break away and come back and kind of summarize the action. But so to the extent that it can be quote-unquote live, it's going to be, and we'll read here. I mentioned in the other video, this is really nice piece of line art that represents this Tower of Azann deep in the rugged wilderness of the Duchy of Anacon. There rises a solitary tower, grim and forlorn. For years there have been terrible rumors concerning the occupant of that bleak edifice, the sorcerer Azann. Whispered tales have circulated throughout the land of children stolen in the dead of night and frightful ceremonies performed in the name of some dark deity. Now the very son of the Duke has been lost, and all evidence points to the Tower of Azann. Although deeply angered and desperately sorrowful at the heir's disappearance, neither the Duke nor the members of his court, nor anyone in all of Anacon is willing to brave the terrors of that sinister abode to rescue the child. What is needed is an adventurer, a stalwart warrior to stake his life on the quest. You are that champion. And it goes on to tell you that unlike many RPGs, we don't need a game master here. We have the paragraph system, and then it says here, pretty optimistically, I would think, once players are familiar with the game system, a game master may be used if desired to expand upon the paragraphs or even introduce new ones to freshen the adventure for repeated play. So let's go and take a look inside here and see what we get. There were a couple of pages of rules, and we start out with how to win. I'm not going to read everything word for word here, but taking a look how to win. Rescue the young heir, and it gives you some conditions if you escape with the child. And oh, there's a jewel here. Incidentally, a fabled gem is said to be in Azann's possession, and we may have the opportunity to get that too. If we get the tower and the kid, we win fame and fortune. Just the kid, we get gratitude, but no wealth, and etc. If we die, it says here, at least your memory will be respected. So that's good to know. We need to do character generation, and let's see, 12 characteristic points. Strength, combat strength, agility, and magic skill. And everything has to have at least 2 characteristics. There's an adventure log. I guess that is over here. And here's the adventure log. Obviously, I'm not going to write in this, but I'll figure it out. And we get to pick 2 spells from the magic spells, and then it explains, I guess, how to do the paragraphs. Some rules for going up and down the stairs. I will read this off camera. Entering rooms. Combat. I will figure this out off camera. And how to use spells, how to discover items. Nerve check. From time to time in the paragraphs, particularly after a harrowing experience or in an especially unpleasant situation, a character will be required to make a nerve check. Add together all your current characteristic points, roll a die. If the die roll is greater than your points, you pass the check. Interesting. Okay. Ducking out. May wish to extricate yourself quickly from a room. Interesting. rolls it compared to the agility, greater than or equal to, the attempt fails, okay. And escape, we'll talk about that. We're not doing 2 or more players. Here are the credits. I don't know that I showed those, probably didn't show them in the other video. And the next page has a summary of spells. I will look at this myself and make my choice here. I think I got to choose 1. Some magic items, a weapon summary, and again, this adventure log, which I will duplicate in some way. And this must be some, it's not really a CRT, but somehow we're going to figure out what these values of the monsters are. And, well, it tells us we can develop monsters on our own, but we're not going to do that. So I'll take a look at this, come back, and we'll get set into the adventure. Alright, it didn't take me long. It took me like less than a minute to generate this character, and I probably should have just done it on camera. I don't have a name for him yet, although there he is, Mr. Peabody, and he is going to have his highest value will be magic. This is just what I do when I play games. I put him at combat 4 and agility 3. I did this before I looked at the spells, and then I looked at the spells and I chose this spell of regeneration first, which is here, because this will allow me to shuffle my strengths, and I was having a little difficulty figuring out what I wanted to do, so I figured why not. This also doesn't seem to have an explicit drawback to it, whereas the other spells, I chose the spell of resistance also. It will allow me to subtract from a nerve check die roll or to disregard certain influences mentioned in the paragraphs. However, each time I use this, I'm going to reduce my combat strength by 1. I liked the sound of this spell of transportation, kind of, which basically gets to remove yourself to a random room. But of course, it's a random room, so who knows? You could end up somewhere worse, and you can also end up outside the tower and having to start all over again. And that doesn't sound great. I mean, I don't know anything about this game, but I don't want to have to go back. And also, when I use it, I need to reduce my magic skill by the amount of a d6 roll. That sounds pretty risky. I like the fireball spell, but as soon as I used it, my magic skill is 0 and my combat strength is halved. Again, that seems pretty risky. So I took a safe route, and I got the spell of regeneration and the spell of resistance. I'll just show you here. It hasn't mentioned the magic items, so I guess these are things maybe that you will be discovering perhaps in these paragraphs. I don't know. And ditto for the weapons. So there seem to be some, there's a great axe, a spear of Grom, infusing me with strength, raising my combat strength by, as many points as I wish. However, for the increased combat, reduced by agility. Well, my agility is not really great. I gave myself a 3 agility as the lowest value. So in any case, I do like this little note here that just caught my eye. Players are encouraged to develop their own spells and items for inclusion in the game. Experimentation is an important part of role-playing. Remember, this is contained in an SPI publication that's designed to draw people into the adventure gaming hobby, so I like that suggestion. It's a nice one. That's it. I haven't actually looked at anything else because it says to me, now when you're ready to begin, you can proceed to paragraph 40 and you're on your way. I haven't actually read the combat thing yet. I wanted to just get my character set up. So I don't have a name for this fellow. He's not going to be Mr. Peabody, but I'm going to figure out his name, read the combat rules finally, and then we will come back at paragraph 40 and see what's what. All right, I've had a look through the combat explanation, and it actually reminded me a little bit of combat in Death Maze in the sense that I'm worried that, let's try to orient here. This video is very much an experiment, I have to say, because I guess if you're watching it, I've deemed it successful enough that somebody might be interested in it. I'm filming off to the side here a little bit because I need to write, and it's hard to have the camera directly over my shoulder, so we'll see how it goes. But In essence, combat seems to be based on subtracting the agility of the defender from your combat strength and kind of going back and forth until somebody is reduced to 0. It's not clear like when or how you, after the combat, do you automatically heal back, because you could potentially win the combat as a character with like 1 point of strength and that's it, and no agility, and I'm not sure how you could then go on, but there's no explicit regeneration. Anyway, we'll figure it out. The spells seem to be able to be used whenever, and as you recall, I did take that regeneration spell, which seems to be have been the right choice. You could discover items, and there are also, again, this escape. It says ducking out, and I'm going to assume that that's ducking out of combat. I'm not really sure I'm drinking some coffee here in the morning. So we'll just we're just gonna wing it here. Going back here, it says when we're ready to begin. I guess we are. We can proceed to paragraph 40, and we're on our way. So here we go. Here come the spoilers, and if you think you're going to get this game, now would be the time to turn off the video. Okay. You can go to the front door or to the back door, or if your agility is 1 or 2, you can go there. If your agility is 3 or 4, you can go there, or if your agility is 5 or more, you can go there. Well, as we recall, we have this agility of 3. I don't know. Let's see, agility of 3 or 4. You know, obviously I'm feeling like going somewhere not the front door. Maybe that's going to be more interesting. So we've got an agility of 3. Let's do it. We're going to go to, it's the lower value of the option, but whatever. We're going to go to paragraph 77. You are in a narrow, dim passage with another passage leading off to your right, and you can see a statue with ruby eyes before you. You can approach the statue or take the right-hand passage. I am realizing, I guess, I should be getting out some handy-dandy graph paper, perhaps. It's a tower, so it's going to be narrow. There was a discussion, didn't show you, but I will just flip back there now to show you about, I think I mentioned this in the little first segment there, where it talked about going up and down the stairs. It also talks about going through rooms, so you can, it says you're never far from a staircase, but it's confusing. If you want to enter a room, you note the level you're on, and then roll a die, and then read the numbers in sequence, and then go to that paragraph. So I don't know if we can walk in and out of rooms randomly, but I guess we do need to keep track of the levels that we're on. And let's see, why did it say how many levels in here? There are 6 levels, I believe, 6 floors in the tower. So let's go back to paragraph 77. Not sure how to do this best, but well, we'll just start here and figure it out. A narrow, dim passage with another passage leading off to my right. And I can see a statue with ruby eyes before me. I can approach a statue or take the right-hand passage. This will be, I guess, somehow where we entered in on level 1. And here is our statue, and of course, why not? We're going to approach that statue. That brings us to paragraph 80. We stumble across a ruby stone of exceptional brilliance. I can leave it alone and proceed or pick it up. Well, obviously, come on, I'm going to pick it up, right? Paragraph 69. Roll a die. If the die roll is less than your magic skill, you can take and use the item. Our magic, we gave ourselves a magic of 5, and let's see. I think we're rolling a d6. I don't even know. Actually, did it say? I hope it's a d6. All right, let me figure that out and come back. I failed to find explicit mention of the size of the die that you're rolling, but it's got to be a d6. So I've chosen this one. I hope it's legible. Visible, I guess is what I mean. We'll see. It's a not particularly sunny day at the moment. So reminding us we roll a die. If the die roll is less than our magic skill, we can take and use the item. If it's equal to or greater, then we fail to recognize the item's worth and leave it behind as we proceed. And we have our magic ability of 5. So we're looking for a 1 to 4 to pick up this ruby, whatever it was, thing. And we'll see what we get. And we did get a 4. Can you see that? I guess I may switch this up. All right, so we picked up, what was it? Let me remind myself of the paragraph here. It was statue with ruby eyes. You can approach the statue. We did that, and we saw yes, it was ruby stone. So let's pick that up and add it to our items. Let's see. I'll just do this down here. I'm having some technical difficulties with the pen. Okay, items. We got a ruby stone, and we got that in paragraph 69. That may or may not be relevant, I guess. And maybe we will mark that here also. It's always hard to know how much information you need when you do these things, so we'll indicate that we got that there on level 1. Now, it's not clear. It doesn't really tell us. Do we go back down the hallway? We were in paragraph 80 before. I guess we're going to just go back. It's a good thing I was writing these down. Maybe we'll go, we approached the statue, we were here. Let's see, can you see this? We're here. I guess we're going to go back now with our ruby stone and go to the right. Not clear what else we would be doing. So now actually this does bring me back to this point, I suppose. It says at any time you can leave somewhere, although we're not really in a room. Just remind you of, well, really remind me. It's too bad this insert happens to be right here. It's poorly placed for my purposes. Entering rooms. Whenever you wish to enter, that's a new room. Up and down the stairs to go up the staircase. Well, I don't really know. Are we with the staircase? Well, I think we won't look for difficulty, and we'll just simply retreat back to this choice here and go down this corridor right now. So we're back at paragraph, what were we, 80? Let's see. No, we were at paragraph 69. Nope, 77. All right. We're going to take the right-hand passage. That's going to direct us to paragraph 68. Roll a die. On a roll of 1 to 4, nothing happens. On a roll of 5 or 6, go. Well, that was clearly we are working with a d6 here. So, all right. Back to our die roll here, and we're rolling this and seeing we got a roll of 1 to 4. Nothing happens. So nothing happens down here. And this is an exciting start to this video, and this is perhaps one of the reasons why you may never see this video. Looks like we're nowhere. I'm going to have to go to the rule, I guess, that says I can go up the staircase or something, because I don't know. To go up the central staircase, we note where we're starting from, level 1, and we roll a die. Let's do that. Okay. We rolled a 5, if you can see that. And well, that's even their example here. Okay, we add the two numbers together and we turn to the paragraph indicated. In this case, it would be 6 and follow the instructions. So we will now turn to paragraph 6, having moved on somewhere. I don't know if this means we're in level 5 or what. Let's read on paragraph 6. If your agility is 3 or more, it is you ascend without mishap. If your agility is less than 3, go to 118. So we are ascending to level 5, I guess. So I guess we'll note this down here. I don't know how this is actually going to. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry about that. And let's see, we're All right, sorry about that. One of my kids was locked out. All right, so I guess we've gone up to level 5, and I guess we're meant to see what room we're in here. So back to entering the rooms. Can you see this? I can't even tell. All right. Whenever wishes to enter room, note the level his character occupies. We're on 5. Roll a die. Okay. 4. So level is, so it's going to be level and then our die roll. So 5, 4, and we'll go to that paragraph and we'll see if that works out. So we're looking for paragraph 54 here, and we find that we are, you find a male shirt lying around and try it on. It's enchanted. Of course, it doesn't tell us that what room we're in, so this is a little bit strange. Did I do that incorrectly? Let's see. Whenever you wish to enter a room, load the level, roll 1 die, read the numbers in sequence. All right. Well, look, I never said this was going to be the most elegantly done thing. We are on paragraph 54, and we're in some unknown space here. So let me just note the paragraph there, and we find a male shirt lying around and try it on. It's enchanted. Roll a die. On a roll of 1 to 4, your combat strength increases by 2. Wow. On a roll of 5 or 6, nothing happens. Oh well. We certainly hope that this is going to work. So, what are we looking for? We're looking for a 1 to 4 here. That would be really good. Whoops, that didn't work. And we got a 3. So our combat strength is going to increase by 2. I'm guessing that means we keep this male shirt. I will just add this in pencil here. Okay, I think I need a new lead here, and we picked up a male shirt with this ruby stone. But then what? Where are we? Where are we? Like, there's nowhere to go here. Have I done something wrong? All right, let me go back. Let's go back and see 6, what we were on, paragraph 6 before that, right? We ascended or descended. I don't know. I do not know. This feels like a dead end with nowhere to go because we keep going back. We went up to this room, back to 68. Let's see, the prior paragraph was 69. We got that item. I mean, I am confused here. I can start over. I guess I can start over. I don't know. Did I make a massive mistake? Is somebody watching this and telling me, wow, you made a massive mistake? Let's go back to the beginning here. We're in a narrow, dim passage with the passage off to the right. Ruby eyes. If we go to the right-hand passage, we roll this die. On a roll of 1 to 4, nothing happens. On a roll of 5 or 6, we'll go to 87. We haven't been to 87 before. Let's just see. At this point, folks, I am not playing this game. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. Roll of 5 to 6. We go to paragraph 87. I fall back to the level from which I was ascending. I roll a die. Then I reduce. But again, I mean, what am I missing here? I feel as if I am missing something major here. Maybe I'm just supposed to be going up and down these stairs to keep going around so that after I got this male shirt, let's see, so I'm on level 5 here. Level 5 here. I got the male shirt, right? So I don't even know what room I'm in because there was no description, but Following the rules here, if we're going up and down the stairs, there's 6 levels. To go up, I note when I'm roll a die, add together, turn to the paragraph. All right, well, you know what? Let's just do that. Let's try to get to the top of the thing. So we're on 5 here, and we're going to roll a die, and we rolled a 1. So this is bringing us back to paragraph 6, actually. If my agility is 3 or more, I ascend without mishap. If it's less, so I ascend to level 6. So I'm on level 6. And let's see if I can find a room in level 6. Again, going back here. Entering a room. Note the level of this character on is 6. Roll a die. Read in sequence. All right. 66. Let's see what 66 brings us. Roll a die, or 1 to 2, nothing happens, and I proceed. On 3 to 6, 3 skeletons arise and do battle, and I conduct combat. All right, so let's see. It's like at this point I'm hoping for some skeletons, and no, did not get them. 1 to 2. Let's just say if I got those skeletons, I would do combat with the skeletons, and I guess I would just go to another room. Discovering items. Let's see. The paragraphs direct the character to the locations of those items from time to time. You need luck. Well, I mean, I did pick up that ruby thing, but, oh, there must be this one, actually. Let's see. Ruby. Did I get that on? I wasn't in paragraph 81, though. Allows you to increase your magic skill as much and as often as you wish. For each point of magic skill, increase, decrease your combat. Well, I don't know if that's what I actually got, because this would seem that it comes from paragraph 81, unless that's a typo. I was not in paragraph 81. I was in paragraph 80. Maybe that's a typo. I don't know. I am... I guess I kind of want to show you some combat, but I'm also just getting a little beaten down here, and I'm not sure that it's worth it. There were 3 skeletons, and they have a combat strength of 2 and an agility of 3. So I don't actually know whether we have to fight. I guess we have to fight them all individually. Skeletons. So I'm just going to walk you through this a little bit. I'm kind of done here, but combat strength is 2, and my agility of the skeleton is a 3, and my combat strength, well, now my combat strength is a 6, you recall from that mail shirt that I got wherever, and my agility is a 3. So basically what happens is I attack first, and I subtract their agility from my combat strength. That's a 3. That's a positive value on my side. So then I get to reduce one of their values by 1, so I'm going to reduce their combat value by 1. Now this is skeleton 1, I guess. I've got to deal with 3 of them. Okay, and then the skeleton 1 will attack me, so this combat strength is my agility, which is 3, is subtracted from its combat strength, leaving a negative number, which means that they need to further reduce one of their values, and I get to choose, and so that skeleton is dead. I think that's how it works. Let me just review. Let's see. Subtract the combat strength of the negative. The character must reduces. Yes. Yeah. And it says a monster is dead once either its agility or combat strength is reduced to 0. So the character is dead when both the agility and combat strength are reduced to 0. In any event, that skeleton is dead, and we continue on. But I got to say, at the moment, at any rate, I am done here with this demo. That I don't know, wasn't working for me. There wasn't enough description of the rooms, really. Maybe I just didn't get to them. I don't know. I'm looking now through here. Here's a description of a room. The room is large, but for a flickering flame in the center of the room, blanketed in darkness. There's a man here. And there's the nerve check. You know, maybe I just didn't get to the right paragraphs at the beginning. I don't know. How many paragraphs are there total? 120. Well, that's it. It was a demo. I'm not sure how successful, but I filmed it, so, you know, I guess nobody's forcing anybody to watch it. A few final thoughts here after I've looked through this a little bit more. I think that the issue here for me was the lack of place, really, that I just kind of felt like I was floating around. And if you look through the paragraphs, you can see that really what's happening in the game is getting to different locations and then sort of modifying, interacting with the location in such a way that's going to raise or lower your stats overall. And I said at the beginning of the video, I wondered after combat whether you would be resting and resetting, and clearly you were not, based on the structure of this, and that's why it wasn't mentioned in the rules. But there are situations where you can find yourself in a location that will, say, provide a magic aura, and if you are at a level of magic that you meet or you do a die roll and are successful, then you can raise that and lower that. And there are a few things to pick up that will help you with combat, and there are ways of resolving the quest in terms of finding something by a certain time and whatever. So, but, you know, again, here, just as a great axe appears before you, hanging on a wall bracket. You know, it is very much kind of ethereal in that regard, and I think that's what I was reacting to, and also the lack of direction in terms of what you do after you go somewhere. I think for me, these types of paragraph games work when they're linked and you're having choices, whereas here it's like you go somewhere and then you roll some dice and you go somewhere else, and that mirrors the actual structure of the paragraphs where you're looking around rather than masking it, and that just wasn't really working for me. So in any case, that was a look inside this SPI booklet, and I hope you liked it.